All right, hey guys, we're here in Priceless Farms again, and we're in our moringa plantation, checking out one of our shamba gardens. And basically, what you're seeing in the background here is a garden that it's about 5 months old. You can see we have some of the moringa trees are going up by about, well, it's 18, almost 20 feet now. And I'm just gonna hike a little termite mound here so you can kind of get a view. Try to keep the sun out of the picture here. And you can see that this garden hasn't been harvested yet. And this is what you get when you have, an overgrowth is what we would call it. And you can see some yellowing on the leaves. If you look really closely in the background here, I'm trying to hold my hand as still as possible for you. And we're doing a count because this shamba, he's been missing a lot of days of work. And he's been having a lot of a hard time keeping up with the weeding contracts, which is, different people's lifestyles and different people's workability in terms of what they can do physically is different, and we have to be aware of that. And so part of what we're doing with Priceless Farms is creating a system that can adjust, monitor, evaluate, and change people's work environments. And in this case, what we're doing is we're actually removing this gentleman from his crop because he's done a very poor job of being able to keep up with weeding. Now, that doesn't mean he's a bad person or anything like that. It just means that that's not the right situation for him. And this is sort of one of the things that we're trying to create here in this company is a system whereby whatever people are strong at, that's where they're placed. Whatever people are weak at, obviously we try to avoid those work positions. And moringa is very unique because I started thinking, and this is why I'm making this video, I started thinking about how it's so interesting that when you're in an environment like this, working with so many different people, you actually end up seeing the results of people's work show you a small window into their physical and also their mental attitudes. Mental attitudes and physical capabilities, I should say. And it's very interesting, and that's the beauty of nature, I think, which we should all take account for, is to look at nature and say, look, the way nature is around us is really truly determined by the way we create it, by the way we work with it or against it in many cases. And the Priceless Farms model is really about creating systems where you have that sort of corporate ideology towards evaluating the work which is being done to be able to quickly adjust. You can imagine that this is a very well-established garden in terms of productivity, but the maintenance is not effective. So we need to find somebody else to manage this and place this person somewhere else where their body and their mindset are better positioned in this system. And I think that's something that everybody should really focus on when they're creating farming corporations like this. Don't expect everybody to be able to do what everybody else is doing. There's always going to be different individuals that come into your organization, and you need to be able to take a look at that and not judge them too harshly with respect to incapabilities, but rather focus on what they might be better at and then see if that works within your system. If it doesn't, then move on, go to another job, go to another company. But if you can find a better position for them, then that's really truly the best solution. And there's a lot of room, especially on a large farm, and especially when you have stable food systems. There's a lot of room for these types of judgment calls which have to come in. And that's great because you get away from that scarcity mindset, you get away from that competitive mindset, and you go more into the sort of prosperity and inclusion mindset, which is really where I think everybody wants to be. Yeah, wouldn't you agree?